Play a little bit of the.
I'll draw the line where Adam commented.
He's been wearing this on more than one episode.
Oh, yeah.
So Big Mike has been wearing, as if it's COVID and you're the biggest asshole out, he's wearing a bandana around his neck. As if he's going to Coachella, he's got to pull that up for the dust. Why with the bandana? So he's wearing an all-black getup, which is out of date. And then he's putting a Coachella-style bandana. He's been wearing this multiple times. So if it's one time, I let it go. One time could be a goof. All the time, it's no longer a gag. You think you look cute in this, which you don't. So now, in return, we got a problem with that. Get it? Get it? You need to take stuff like that off, and you need to stop also doing a lot of other stuff, and then we'll finally be cool. It's going to be a long road. Okay? Here's the big scam artist. Remember, he stole 1.3 mil on a crypto scheme, never paid it back, and is now harassing people that are suing him for the money back. That's the real story. You don't need to know anything else. That's the real story of him. And Big Mike is going to tell us something really good. This one stopped me in my tracks, and it's been a while. This Impulsive show is so bad now, it's almost unwatchable. It's nothing like it used to be. They're not trying. Logan is completely checked out of being a human. I mean, it's a bad vibe, man. You try to watch the show, it is a gnarly vibe.
And Mike basically just likes hanging out with this Jeff FM now. And
Jeff Wittick, yes.
His relationship with Logan is basically nothing. So they just sit next to each other awkwardly.
Yeah,
the
so
whole
this
time.
Jeff guy and Logan have zero chemistry. But Jeff is Big Mike's good friend, and Logan doesn't want to look like he's intimidated or challenged by that. So he brings Jeff on to do the boys only episodes, even though they're never supposed to have been in the same room together ever. I mean, they can't talk to each other. They're actually repellent. Like, it doesn't even work. It's that bad of a mix. And, but because Logan doesn't want people to think the obvious, which is actually what is happening, he's going out of his way to pretend that he loves Jeff and that they're great friends. When clearly we could all see you guys hate each other. And by the way, Logan hates you because he's jealous, scared, afraid. Big Mike's hanging out with him all the time, all of the above. You're scared of Logan because he's a complete psycho. And you can't even believe you're talking to this complete fucking psycho. And then you start doubting yourself that it's you and your insecurities as to why you're having this horrible conversation with Logan instead of going with your natural instinct, which is to be repulsed and never talk with him. But instead, you start tripping up and getting all nervous.
Poor sweet Jeff.
Because you're too innocent. And then you start going, oh, man, why can't I connect with Logan? Ah, shit, it must be me. Here I go again with my insecurities. I must push through this and prove to myself that I have what it takes. And so then we end up with what we have here, which is a really awkward mix of guys pretending to be friends.
Even if they got the wrong guy, which is what happened.
Cheers, everyone, to Big Mike.
They got the wrong guy.
I gotta say something about Bradley. I think you're getting lame. You're running your
Just
mouth
the cold
about my
open.
brother. I'm inviting you to come to Puerto Rico, and I will spar you, and I will
Here you
humble
go.
your
Fake. Impulsive, everybody. Back on Redbar. Is that Prime Energy?
I love that noise.
Prime Energy.
I like that one.
You know what noise I love more?
Do you know Olivia from H3? Okay, like H3 is like against Logan Paul, like morally stands with the earth against Logan Paul for his schemes, right? And they found out that girl Olivia, who's one of the crew members on H3, she was like, yeah, Prime is so hard to get right now. They're like out of it everywhere. And Ethan was like, wait, you drink Prime? She's like, well, it's more of like my favorite treat. And this bitch, so that would be like if Jules was sneaking Primes behind my back, giving money straight to Logan Paul. I couldn't believe it. Just a little piece of information. So here's Mr.
You
Prime.
see
This
Prime.
Prime, by the way, is like a mafia. It's like a criminal organization, this Prime. And now that you know, guys, just know the Prime hydration, they're using mostly potassium to give you that electrolyte count, which potassium you really don't want to use that for hydration, okay? It's a filler electrolyte. It's not actually as good as the other forms, okay? Stay away from Prime. It's not worth the stomach, the square footage in your stomach. You ever think of it that way? How many drinks can you actually have per day? Why waste stomach space on a bad drink, okay? No more Prime. Oh,
Got me feeling like a cowgirl. Ice cream so good.
no.
Yeah. Grab. Hat emoji.
He practiced this.
Thank
He
you,
practiced
baby.
this.
Got me feeling like a cowgirl.
Thank you, baby.
That's how they opened the show. Logan thought this was going to kill. Logan thought only he was second to Hoppy Mama or whatever. What was her name? Spicy
Pinky
Mom?
Doll.
Pinky Doll. So Logan saw this Pinky Doll and he got real excited that she was able to make money from doing the gang, ice cream. Black people so dumb. Black people so dumb. Me so sleepy. My son so sleepy. My son so sleepy. Logan saw that girl was making a bunch of money. Remember, this was the big trending viral sensation thing. Logan saw she was making a bunch of money. He got jealous. He needed money for doing that now. So Logan practiced doing what she does, and he thought when he opened the show doing it, like he's doing it here, we were going to die. We were going to say, dude, that's like the best one I've heard. You know, because they've all tried it. Trisha Paytas tried it.
Yeah.
Ethan Klein tried it. All the losers tried it, and they failed. So Logan's sitting there going, dude, I got this. And then the internet will love me too, just as much as they love her. And he opens with this loser.
Oh, I love that noise.
This was
I
planned.
like that one.
You know what noise I love more? Got me feeling like a cowgirl. Ice cream so
Bro,
good.
no.
You gotta have a first drink first to get to this level.
Hat emoji. Ice cream
Idiot.
emoji.
Thank you, baby.
Got
Thank
me
you,
feeling
baby.
like a cowgirl.
Thank you, baby.
In his head, this was going over is like really hilariously. I love that. I love when a host is clearly doing something they planned, but they're clearly not in the right mood to pull it off. And they go with it and they do it with their eyes down, all insecure. They're fucking dying inside. I love that. And that's what you're seeing here today with Logan Paul. You can see it. I mean, look, this isn't the eyes of somebody doing something funny.
His eyes are so wrong.
This is the eyes of a guy who sucks dick at gunpoint because he's trying to save his mom from being killed. So he's going to suck some dicks to save her. It's not the eyes of somebody killing it.
Grab. Hat emoji. Ice cream
Thank you,
emoji.
baby. Thank you, baby.
Nope.
Got
Don't
me
ruin
feeling
it.
like a
You're
cowgirl.
ruining it.
Ice cream so good. That girl.
See, they're
Bro,
That
what
girl?
is that?
The vibe is so off. And then Jeff is here looking at him like, and Jeff, this is a far fall from what Jeff's capable of. You know, Jeff, I've seen, it's very corny, but he has an eye for comedy more advanced than this Logan Paul sphere. One level more.
It's not advanced, but you can watch it.
It's, you know how like Logan Paul doing comedy, that's not even a thing. Like Logan Paul doing comedy is a complete farce, right?
Yes.
But this guy actually at least attempts to do something that could pass as comedy. It's very corny. It's very childish. But he looks down at a guy like Logan. Like he knows better. He knows what Logan just did right now is cringe. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
He knows that what Logan did right there is making his skin crawl. And he's got to sit there going, okay, buddy. And then Logan looks at him. And remember, Logan can't even be himself around Joe. I mean, they can't be in the same room. Logan is so insecure around Jeff, but tries to alpha him. So it's really fun to watch. Now knowing that, try give one of these a watch. I think you'll see, try giving one of these a watch. I think you'll see some great moments Okay, remember that. Jeff Wittick, Logan, they shouldn't be around.
Pinky Doll is her name. She's what's called an NPC streamer.
Yeah.
She goes live on TikTok.
Yeah.
I watched one of them. 70,000 people. Pathetic people.
And everybody who's covered this topic does the same 3 points. Dude, people actually watch this. 70,000 people. It gets better. She makes a ton of money from it. And third, I can't hate on that. I watched 1,600 people cover this Pinky Doll in the span of 1.5 weeks. And literally every motherfucker introduces the story to their audience as if they're hearing it from them first and tells you the story from scratch, from the start, and then says those 3 points. She gets 70,000 views, 70,000 live viewers. She's making money. And I can't hate on her for getting her bag. I'd do it. And then, as a fourth one, talking point, they go into talking about how other people tried it and made money at it, too. And that was done 1 million times last week on YouTube. No one thought maybe we know the story. Maybe we don't need to hear it again from your voice. That's all it was. It drove me crazy.
Including myself, watching this girl go, got me feeling like a cowgirl. Yes, ice cream's so good.
Yes.
This girl streams. So here's how this works. First off, welcome back to Impulsive, the #1 podcast in the girls.
Here's how it works. See what an asshole. Here's how, you notice how I don't do that with you? I just assume you all have seen the story somewhere else. It's that bad of a story. So I'll continue it from where we've all left off. Isn't that nice? But no, not Logan. He's going to start from the beginning. Okay, let's get into this big Mike tale. What's our first time code now that you see the mood that these boys are in?
You could start it at like 59 minutes. That's
59.
That's like a minute and a half of lead up, but I think this part is pretty like just awkward between them.
Have you ever 59'd someone?
Just to show what the show is like now, since we haven't, like, remember we would watch Impulsive.
We want to go to
telling
59?
Yeah. Telling all their personal stories, all this crazy stuff. Now they'll just sit there nervously.
They're very nervous. I mean,
about.
everybody is really not being themselves. They can't even concentrate. I mean, look at their faces. This isn't the face of a guy having a good time. This is like if he had to talk to his dad's friend who made him still feel like a kid. Okay? That's how people are around Logan now. Like they're around their dad's boss.
I mean, he's scary.
Yeah. Well, that's because he's psycho, and everybody, instead of going, you should just feel that feeling and go, oh, dude, this guy's a psycho, and get away from him. Instead, you think that it's on you.
People. Okay. I don't know how to message this exactly, but there was many Chinese people on a plane. So it was in my eyes, it was a Chinese flight, one of the Chinese airlines.
Chinese. What do they eat on the Chinese flights? Chinese food.
Chinese food. So anyways, there was a Chinese flight, and there was a guy on the flight screaming that he was in his 6th cycle, and he had seen that this plane wasn't going to make it to its next destination.
Oh, you can't say that on a plane.
So this is what they're talking about, that story of the girl yelling that there was a man she couldn't see. Remember that viral video that you were just supposed to see on Twitter and then move on? They're going to tell you all about it from scratch. Was there something coming up here?
You could go to 1 hour and 35 seconds.
1 hour. So we were showing that to show what kind of stuff they talk about now.
Yes.
Okay. 1 hour what?
I just thought if you wanted to show a little more of the dynamic between the three of them.
Yeah, where should I go?
Just this part. Keep playing it. Just
keep
because
playing it.
I mean, but you don't have to.
And it caused
okay.
a massive uproar, and they pulled the guy off the plane. I mean, the content coming off, but here's the question. It begs the question.
Oof.
Is Final Destination real?
Was he right? If that plane had taken off, would what he said
None of them
have
care.
happened? Do you understand what I'm saying?
This is acting.
I find this. No, I'm not. I'm just saying this. I find it funny that if I asked,
you would do a better job if your teacher asked you to do an assignment on a podcast topic. You could do a better job than this. I mean, this is really pathetic that they're going to sit there and all pretend to talk about this topic that it's like weeks old too at this point. Weeks old. Maybe 3 weeks ago this happened.
The internet right now to tell me the exact make and size of your pants, they could provide that information immediately. But if I asked them who that woman was, who had the knowledge that that man was not real, the internet still has not found out who this woman is. The internet identifies
fake they're
everyone.
being.
So you're telling me that the corrupt, corporate-owned government that we exist under, who 9/11, Epstein didn't kill himself.
Oh, God. Look at Logan.
So bored.
Clip that. That's
All
it.
of it.
That's it. Yeah.
What about? Well, you didn't say anything just now.
Wow.
You know what sucks?
Look at
We
this.
had a great podcast, and this last 10 is just.
It's been hard. I'm
Just
running out of topics.
bullshit.
Bro, I've been feeding you guys.
Ask Jeff something, dude.
What do you got going on?
Ooh. What you got going on?
He didn't.
I mean,
ask
this is
for that.
really bad. You guys can't be getting paid for this.
I mean, has Manscaped
No
seen
one.
this?
They refused to try.
You flew out here with your new girlfriend, right?
I'm careful with the term, but yes.
Okay, the new girl you're dating.
Yep.
You
Well,
got yourself a first class ticket and you put her in economy.
Okay, now here we go. Finally, so they threw it to Jeff, and guess who finally comes up with something interesting? Jeff. Jeff FM. We've always stood behind him, and hey, listen, if we stand behind somebody, they must be pretty good
He
people.
brought down Dobrik.
He brought down Dobrik. He's going to bring down Logan one day. Okay? So that's great. He
Logan's actually
reveals.
crazy for hanging out with the guy that brought down Dobrik. I mean, that's might also be why he's
Oh,
so nervous.
yeah.
Because what if Jeff is an angry guy?
Yeah.
What if he turns on Logan in a rage? I know it's getting pretty hot.
Getting pretty hot. We got to take a break soon and turn that.
After this, we'll take a little AC break.
All right. Okay, so because these boys had nothing planned, because they're being so fake, because they're being so boring, they throw it to Jeff, and Jeff says this.
You flew out here with your new girlfriend, right?
I'm careful with the term, but yes.
Okay, the new girl you're dating.
Yep.
You
Well,
got yourself a first class ticket and you put her in economy. How do you go about
Did
that?
you hear what he just said? He's dating this girl. They're going on a trip together, and he buys a first-class ticket and makes her fly in coach. I thought Jeff was clearly just fucking with him. You know, fucking around by saying that. Listen to this shit.
Out here with your new girlfriend, right?
I'm careful with the term, but yes.
Okay, the new girl you're dating.
Yep.
You
Well,
got yourself a first class ticket and you put her in economy. How do you go about that? Do you? So listen, Mike, because
This is real.
You make a lot of money, right?
that's subjective, I guess. Like I look at Kai Cenat. Like Kai Cenat makes a lot of money.
Okay, so
XQC makes a lot of money. I know Logan says he doesn't, but XQC
what's the deal?
makes a lot
Fuck,
of money.
I gotta stop being mean to you because your mom called me. She got mad at me.
She's
She
pissed
said
right
you're
now.
being mean
She's
to
watching
my-
this right now. Putting you on
boys.
It's just
Like,
an interesting topic, you know. Sorry, Robin.
happy to have the
But she
conversation.
Come on,
probably
boys.
thinks you're right. You know, why would he be spending all this money to get her? She's a smaller person. Maybe it doesn't matter if she's in a middle seat in the back of the
She's not a
plane.
dere. She would have liked first class.
Were there no other seats available? Was there only one?
I'm curious why you
I'm
do
happy
that.
to have the conversation.
I
you offer to
am curious why you do that, Logan. So we thought maybe they were just joking around. Maybe it even just happened once. Logan finally turns and says,
Were there no other seats available? Was there only one?
I'm curious why you
I'm
do
happy
that.
to have the conversation.
Did you offer to share it? Like,
I am curious why you do that. I'm open to having the conversation. So already, like, you don't need to hear anything else. You should be in horror, right? Like, imagine doing this to somebody. Imagine, like, coercing some girl to go on some vacation with you so that you could make content off her name, you know, to use this hot Latina chick in the flyer. And then, of course, you'd make them have sex with you all weekend long, right? They got to have sex with you. That's, of
Yes,
course,
ugh,
part of the Big
disgusting.
Mike trade. I mean, and Big Mike should be worried because he could have like a Tate-like operation going. I've seen the way he talks to some of these people because he's like, he's slipping into character and forgetting to come out of it sometimes. And he'll be like, Tana, get your ass down here. They've got a shoot. It pays, you're going to get $1 million from it. Get on a plane. And he like kind of forces all of these girls to do these gigs, you know, very Tate-like.
He's a pimp.
He's a pimp. I mean, really, remember when we were noticing he had some curiosity in becoming an OnlyFans agent. Like he was really acting like that he's got like a side hustle where he's getting girls to do OnlyFans and taking a chunk. I think he really is doing stuff like that. And I think he has done stuff like that. And I think he doesn't even know that he's doing the lover boy method half the time. I mean, from the stuff I saw, it would take a lot of
This is all just a guess.
This
by
is
the
just
way.
a guess,
We're
but
not
I believe
claiming
that
anything.
the reason he stands up for Tate is because he is also using the same method they're trying to bust Tate for. Loverboy. Which is highly illegal in my eyes. And always has been. So, Big Mike, he's with some bitch. He's having sex with her. He claims he likes her. And they go on a trip, and he buys a first-class ticket. Buys her a plane ticket, but it's a coach ticket. He won't. Why wouldn't you want to sit next to her on this trip?
Well,
And we're not talking. Here's the other thing about this. We're not talking about like $20,000 tickets. Listen to how much the ticket was that he refuses to buy for a girl he's going on a trip with.
Half the
I
flight,
believe it's
3 hours.
I believe it's a. I run on a similar vesting schedule as your prenup. I'll be honest. If you think within 2 weeks of knowing me as a human that I am putting you in a $3,000
That's
LAX,
when you do that stuff.
3,000 was what he won't do. So I was like, I'm thinking maybe he's talking about $22,000 overseas flights. A $3,000 trip you can't. You could do 867, but not 3,000. 3,000 should be like
there's,
300.
Like his tweet that's at the bottom of that.
Yeah,
now.
look at this. So here's Big Mike, who won't pay for a $3,000 sheet for a fuckfest with a model that he doesn't deserve or hasn't earned. So he gets to go on a fuckfest with a model, won't pay the $3,000 fee for the ticket. And he says this. Hold on, we got should I just read this? He's responding to somebody. I'm not
can
seeing.
You scroll up.
Let's see. This is what's happening
wait,
now.
Hold on. Go back
Join
to that.
threads. There's
Scroll
no
up.
scrolling up
Well,
here.
he's just been arguing about like political topics with people
Yeah.
a lot, and then someone was like, "Hey, Mike, you're a libtard."
Yeah, hey, Mike, you're a libtard. And he says, I'm in the absolute highest tax bracket. If you think I'm left, you're a moron. Okay, you're in the highest tax bracket possible, but you can't pay for the $3,000 seat? Again, I could kind of understand if he's not going to pay like some of these are ridiculous, right? $40,000
Yeah.
if they're on some last minute flight. Yeah, maybe I could see that not wanting to pay that. But $3? I mean, that's like $30 to him if he's in the highest tax bracket, right? It's like $3.
human that I am putting you in a $3,000
That's
LAX.
when you do that stuff in the
it's
beginning.
Not.
So it's
you
like,
want to know
look,
what that's
this
called,
is-
buddy? Setting a poor precedent. Because guess what? When she
Okay,
says,
you're right,
when
you're right.
she
So you're
says to
building to
you,
that.
I mean, that is Tate-level treatment.
I know.
That's like manipulate. That's like mind-altering
If someone did that to me,
manipulation.
I wouldn't be able to wait to tell people what someone did.
Could you
to me.
imagine? I mean, could you imagine? That's like Tate-level mind games.
Or if you don't want to pay the money, you have to sit in economy with her.
I mean, how could you ditch somebody? I can't understand that. And I've seen couples who do this too, where they just don't sit together on the plane. Oh, but it's because I got my ticket and then she just got it like by herself. Why didn't you get the tickets together? You're married. There's a lot of weird shit like that going around. But listen to this, it gets worse.
and she says to you, wow, or when she says to herself, wow, he hasn't upgraded my status in this relationship in a long time because I started her off in first class on Emirates
ripping
to fucking Dubai. No, she's going to start off with David in 33C, okay? and by the way, it's a 5-hour flight. David flies business when we cross the ocean.
So he makes her sit with the videographer for his vlog.
And he's a giant creep.
And they don't know this. Like this is what Big Mike does. He wakes up in the morning, he goes on Instagram, and he copies and pastes this message to every model on Instagram. Hey, do you want to come on the night shift? Tropical locale, PJ. Or no, in this case, airfare, tropical hotel, airfare, millions of views, 1.6 on YouTube. Blah, blah. That's what he does. A copy and paste. He sends that to every model. And then, some model goes, okay, maybe I'll go on this trip where I'll be in this guy's vlog.
Get some subscriptions.
You have to have
my
sex with him. You have to have sex with him, obviously. That's what he says. He has sex with them. They're like dates. But then you show up and you have to sit with the camera guy, the little kid, David,
horrible.
the German videographer who has no business even being a camera guy. You have to sit next to him and coach while Mike flies alone in first class, and then you continue the date when you step off the plane. That's really weird. I've never seen it done. It's real.
Time.
Yeah.
It was a very expensive flight. If it had been a $700 Mint fare, she would be in first class with me. It was $3,000.
I want to say, I think that's fair.
Okay.
I totally see your point.
You do?
When does she vest to business?
No. That's terrible. You should have started with that's crazy. Why? Don't let him out of this. When does she advance? No. That's a joke question now. He's going to think of a joke answer. And you shouldn't. I hope you don't understand all this.
It's fair.
Okay.
I totally see your point. When does she vest to business? When is it time?
Okay, so I'll say this. I think it's rate dependent. And I also
103.40. You have to skip the fake lie improv. 103.40. Yeah, thank you for that. Because these guys like to burn up the air with these riffs.
That was mean.
I forgot.
Perfect.
No, cheapskate. You're a cheapskate.
Yep.
I mean, it's getting ridiculous because you're making more and more money every year, but you get cheaper. You get cheaper every single time. Like, I mean, last night.
Go ahead, bring it up. I know it's on the tip of your tongue. I know it's burning in your bloodstream,
Last night, right? I get in. I'm tired. I flew economy too. Middle seat. I want to go to sleep. You're like, no, bro, come to dinner. Just fucking come to dinner. Come to dinner. Mike brings, a group of girls, and they run up a tab, drinks, bottles, fucking all this.
That's not true.
Champagne coming over to the table. I don't drink, so I'm just sitting there like, fuck, man, I should have just stayed in. Bill comes. He's like, yo, card. Give me your card.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm perfectly fine with splitting the bill, but I was dragged there. You invite me out.
Wow.
It's your party, your thing. I'm helping you out, wingman, and you fucking pick up the check.
And he does this. You'll see him on Instagram. He'll be at like P.F. Chang's with the big table, like the Gemstones big table. And it will all just be girls. So he goes on Instagram. He goes, yes, we're having a networking dinner. Come on out. It's all paid for. Ciao.
Did we ever cover his post about the perfect dinner that everyone was making?
And he does it, but he does this every weekend. So he uses his influence. He uses his relationship with Paul. He uses his power to get the dumbest of the dumb models to all come meet up at a dinner. And they think maybe they're going to be the only one there. It turns out there's 30 models, 15 on each side. And then Mike will be like, Jeff, get down here. I'm having a dinner party. And then Jeff has to pay for 15 of the models, split it with Mike because they're the only two guys at a table of 2 rows of girls in clashing dresses with clashing extensions. It smells like a perfume counter. It smells like the Dillard's opening. You ever been in one of those? So I can't believe he actually does that. Thank you, Jeff, for being open and honest and bringing some life to this show with a true story. Let's see what Mike says about this.
Okay, you're bringing up a very interesting topic. No, not personal by any means.
You're a cheapskate.
Okay.
There's no really to go here.
No.
Topics and it's so short. End it.
No, that's
Close
fine.
the book.
But let me just
Fucking
say
judge
this.
slam
Let me
the
just say
hammer.
this.
You are lousy.
Anybody that goes to those type of dinners knows that regardless of what you ate, drank, or whatever, girls.
See, he does these so often. It's like an industry thing that he picked up on, that these scumbags are doing these dinners.
Wait, we got to I don't think we ever actually talked about this on the show.
He does these. It's really sick. I mean, I don't know where he got this idea from. It like Dan Blazarian or something. It's like that creepy. It's like a cult-like thing, and he's even said everyone knows the rules to the dinners.
This is from like a year
Someone
ago.
should make a movie called The Dinner.
Look at this tweet that he tweeted last year. I don't think we ever covered this on the show.
Maybe we didn't.
I think this might have been during our break or something.
Here's an X. Who pays for dinner? LA Scene Edition. And it shows, here's what these dinners look like, fellas. So here it is. See all the clashing models all on their phones? Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 6, 7 on the damn end of the table, smashed in, forced to sit together on the end. And then you got another row all the way up, and then Mike sits at the front. That's weird. He doesn't know these girls. It's different girls each time. It's deals that he's made on Instagram. And he talks about it as if this is something a lot of guys do. Yeah, maybe a Miami.
Gotta just read what he wrote.
Let's see what this is about. But now you see this picture. And I've seen these where they're triple the length. I've seen these where they look like a goddamn graduation dinner. I've seen these where they're, this looks like the whole school is here. All the girls from the same college. Okay, let's see. Here's this.
This is someone asking him a question in his DMs.
Okay, so Big Mike posts this DM. So Big Mike posted this picture of the girls at the dinner. And a fan, I guess, DMs him and says, I have a question. When you go out with all of them women, who pays? Separate checks? You pay all? Just men pay? Okay, so I guess this guy's even seen that Big Mike posts these big women dinners. Which, by the way, these all women dinners aren't normal. Hope people know that. It's never even really been attempted in the public eye from a guy like that, at least. Again, like some guy from Europe, you're never going to know about him. He might do this.
Tate was doing this, and that's
Tate
why
was doing this.
so
Fresh and
shocked.
Fit. This is like the Fresh and Fit table. And again, none of these people are having a good time. They were all coerced there, thinking Logan was going to be. He'll probably stop by. Logan will probably swing by. I mean, God knows what these DMs must say to these women to get them out there.
God,
and they're all low-level girls with like 30K trying to be the next Ashley Schwan. So they're going to go. Let's see what he says about these dinners. Wow, look at this. Number one question. And he writes, he writes out a note and posts this to social media in response to that guy's question. Okay, here we go. Number one, let me drink some water before this. Hold on, just freshen my mouth a bit before I attempt to do what I have to do, which is to read this. Number one question for my morning. I will not say this next word. He's on the toilet writing this, so he's going to say something gnarly like that. Number one question for my morning beep today. Who pays for the 14-person dinners when 12 people are girls? Well, it depends on who you ask. But in our circles, simply put, the men. Here's a quick breakdown. Everything in life is a symbolic value burn. Pretty girls want to... symbiotic value burn. Pretty girls want to eat and drink and not pay for it. Who wouldn't? Rich dudes, 1, want hot girls to walk around and talk to. And 2, here's the bigger part, hot girls bring upgraded levels of access that money can't buy. Access in cities like LA or NYC or Miami isn't dictated by dollars. Everyone here is rich, so you need to bring something more to the table. You show up to Off Sunset or Hyde with a black Amex, you're just like every other e-com bandit in there. But you show up with a black Amex and 14 A1s, now you have something of intrinsic value. Maybe you can now establish a more dominant position on the floor. Wow. Wait, hold on, guys. Zoom out. Maybe you can establish a more dominant position on the floor. Maybe now you can get some requests on what music the club listens to. Maybe now you leave with a meeting on Tuesday morning with a venture capital guy interested in not only your startup, but more so interested in the fact that you rolled up to the club with 14 girls. A1s. I didn't write the playbook. It's simply social economics. And it's not even about the sex. It's about the optics. So in the end, these aren't dinners. They're simply strategic investments that come with a side of French fries. I'm tearing up from how crooked this fucking is. Jesus Christ. Holy fuck, man.
Did you ever see that? That's been in my head.
I did. I
for, like-
remember that. And here he is. And of course, so what he does, you didn't mention the part where you call Jeff and have him meet you for dinner. And he shows up with 15 floozies that he's got to pay for. You never mentioned that in your
Did you explain to him about
LA style
that
writing,
it's
by
just
the
a
way?
strategic investment? Maybe if you told Jeff that, he would get it.
Yeah. But yeah, it didn't fit in with the Hank Moody little memoir here that you just wrote.
So imagine his face when he finished that.
I'm writing a book. It's called LA. The Secrets of Sin City.
I can't wait. I thought that he was writing a book about the secrets of sin.
Yeah, wasn't he?
What happened to that?
The Sin of Angels. Wow, you sure figured this out quick. I need to know who else is doing this. Again, I think you saw like Dan Blazarian do this, or the guy who sold the $500 million home. Like an asshole like that does it. The One. Remember the guy who sold The One? He's bankrupt now. All right, let's see.
Generally do not pay, and the men usually split the bill. It's generally the case. Like,
What did you have?
he had some food, but not a lot.
I had just the bread.
No, you had
Just the
some
bread.
dumpling. You
I
had some
only
Wagyu dumpling.
He was
He's a
counting my
liar.
bites. He's counting my bites.
Wow.
Bro, it's either
Sick.
fucking pick it up or pass it to me. Just be like, yo, this is on you. You're lucky to be here.
You had 37 bites of food last night. I counted
I know
every single
you fucking
fucking one of
counted
them.
them. I know
And you
you
had 2
counted
bottles of sparkling.
Look, I don't want to play this game where we just expose each other for shit that happens in real life.
No. It's fair. It's fair. And by the way, I did, as you know, cover a little bit more, and I also tried to
$70
No,
more.
that's not true.
Wow.
And I also tried to hand you cash, and you said you didn't want it.
Yeah, because that's how I roll. Fucking,
He'd rather have the story.
I'd rather have the story. Yeah, of course.
Yes, thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, because now we got a leg up. He can talk shit about you. Get the audience to turn on you.
Yeah.
that's
Sheet Nelk and Andrew Schultz. Speaking of,
Okay. Shout out to Andrew Schultz. Very nice. So that's what Mike's up to. He's the next Tate, man. He's the next Tate, and he's fighting with all sorts of people online.
I hope
lately.
that he's at least worried that he might have done a Tate-like
He did.
activity.
He did. I'll go as far to say he's got a lot of Tate-like stuff. Just do the investigation, and I'm sure you'll find something. You need a new Tate once Tate goes to a Romanian prison, which they're saying he's going to get 300 years. Did you hear this? For nothing. For essentially nothing. So I consider what Tate did to be nothing. For the record, if any of Tate's fans are upset with anything I said about Tate, my stance is he didn't do anything wrong. So make sure you end your clip with that on TikTok. Or else we'll see what the lawyers have to say about that. All right, what should we do next? We got so much good stuff.
I know. Should we do Gad Sad?
Oh, I'm so glad that I said I've got the body of a Greek gag 2 weeks ago. It was a famous line. People loved it instantly. They got the concept instantly. I said, guys, I've been working out, under here. I've got the body of a Greek gad. Thank you. And people, boy, did they connect with that. Because Gad Sad is, the guy I'm joking about. He's got a pretty miserable, dilapidated Jewish troll body. Okay? So what you're doing is you're making people think that you're saying you got a sexy body. Really, it's as good as Gad Sad is pretty fucking vulgar to the eye. Great joke all around. But what's even greater is that primed you for seeing what came today, came as a surprise. Gad Sad on Joe Rogan. And they don't get along. Ooh, Gad Sad pushes Joe to his limits. And Joe goes from having a good time to, oh yeah, remembering that this Jew always brings trouble. Right? Right.
Why is it being Jewish an insult to you, Nick?
Scroll. Yeah, you really saw Joe go, yeah, he's so Jewish.